Hey everybody, Jim here on this rainy day in Akiba. I got caught out in the rain. Luckily, I got caught here. That's Surugaya. Look at all that stuff they got displayed prominently on the window. We got SNK, Nintendo, we got Sega, we got everything you want in here. No better place to be caught in the rain, I say. So let's go and look at some retro games, as I was on one of my usual shopping trips, looking for reasonable prices for myself and other people. Gunhead on the Famicom, which I was disappointed to find is not a port of Blazing Lasers, unfortunately. Urusei Yasura, Lum's Wedding Bell. This is a fun little Famicom arcade-style game that I've covered in the past. I should check that out. It's a pretty sweet game. Akira on the Famicom, also cool, based on the anime. It's kind of a graphic novel game, or a visual novel game. Pretty damn cool. Once again, I've talked about this game so many times in the past. Neketsu Hakibu. Just a super fun 8-bit hockey game. That complete copy is like $20, but you can find loose for like $5. East 2 on the Famicom. I have this, haven't actually played it, because I played East Books 1 and 2 on the PC Engine. Didn't really feel like I needed to play the Famicom port, but it's there for anybody that wants to play it, both games. And actually there's an East 3 Famicom port as well. Hector 87. They got that there. And so yeah, you can see here a nice wall of boxed games. There's plenty of stuff in here. Mappy Land. That's pretty cool. And they're selling that for like 900 and some odd yen. Roughly like $9, which ain't so bad. So lots of stuff here. Yoshi's Egg, which is a fun puzzle game. Another one that's complete. That's like 990 yen. That's not so bad. The Famicom version of Valis. Very different from the PC Engine games. Closer to the original version, which I think was on like some kind of home computer. PC-88 or maybe MSX or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Famicom version. Very different from the PC Engine versions. As we have Wonder Swan games here. There's GameCube, other various things. I actually have quite a lot of Wonder Swan games that I don't mess with. Handheld stuff here like Rockman, all this Game Boy stuff, which is very cool. Which is not something I really collect for. Don't really play a lot of handhelds. Don't collect for Game Boy and stuff, but it is cool to see them. We got lots of consoles over here. Most of them loose. You can see Super Famicoms and things. A loose Virtual Boy. Don't see too many of those around. And some fight sticks. These I thought were especially cool. These are CPS2 boards. So these are the Capcom arcade software that they had in the mid-90s. So there's Vampire Hunter 2. A lot of their really their best fighting games are on CPS2 boards. So Vampire Hunter, you can see here Street Fighter 02. So the Street Fighter 0 games, stuff like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel Supers, all that stuff was on CPS2. So that's very cool. So they have some CPS2 stuff in here, and we look at these cases here, glass cases with all the rarefied air, the expensive stuff, including the cartridge version of Akumajo Dracula, which is much more expensive than the disc version. Street Fighter 03, Wipeout XL, Tempo, which is a game I really want to play. I've still never played it. It's over $400 though, so I'm just gonna have to play like a ROM or something. But I would love to, or if I just become like filthy stinking rich, I'm just gonna buy all the Saturn games. There's PC games in this little area here. You can see Box Jaguar and Virtual Boy. For whatever reason, the Jaguars are flying off the shelf, and they had cool like old strategy guides there too, which I like to thumb through. And all of these end caps, they just have lots of loose Super Famicom carts, which I usually dig through after I put the camera down, because it's more fun to go through all these. Because the box art, you can't argue with this box art. East 4 on the Super Famicom, Mask of the Sun, which is a great game. Gameplay is similar to East 4 on the PC Engine CD, but they're actually two different games entirely in terms of plot and some gameplay differences as well. As we look at more of these Super Famicom games, including Iron Soldier, which 3960, I think this might be the reproduction though. because I'm pretty sure Iron Soldier is typically a pretty expensive game on the Super Famicom. But repro carts were made, which is the case for a lot of those more expensive Super Famicom games. As we got a couple of copies of ActRaiser stuck together here. $16.50 for a complete ActRaiser, which is great. I mean, that's, you know, one of the best games on the console. And $4,400, about $40 for a complete copy of Area 88, which is UN Squadron, which is a great game. It's in my top 5 shooters on the SNES, which isn't like a, you know, Murderer's Row or anything. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure RPG on the Super Famicom. A lot of people not aware of this game, actually, but it's pretty cool. If you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you wanted it in an RPG form, there's only one, and it's on the Super Famicom. As we continue on with the Super Famicom aisle here, we have some Puyo Puyo stuff here, including this one, which is a kind of like a Puyo Puyo kind of like side story kind of game, which is very cool. Also, in this section, and also in a lot of sections here in Surugaya, as we take a look at this game, this Mel Modeling Simulator. Oh wait, no, it's I'm sorry, it's like a pro wrestling thing. A lot of the games in here, they're divvied up by genre, actually. So if you come to this section, or the PlayStation games or whatever, you'll see a little tab that says, you know, it's action. It'll probably be written in katakana, but there'll be a tab that says action, a tab for adventure, a tab for like shooting and RPGs, puzzles, racing games, which is pretty convenient as we pass by all of these DS games and more loose Super Famicom games, including some good stuff like Sonic Wings, and you got like Mickey games and things like that. Good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, if you're looking for particularly like action titles and things like that, here we have Mushi Hime-sama for the PS2. Great game. I've actually covered some of the ports to the Xbox 360. Mushi Hime-sama, great shooters by Cave. But all these PS2 games, they're divvied up by genre, and then I think after that they put them in alphabetical order. As we come to Tronbon, great game, 2,200 yen, which is like 400 yen more than it was at Book Off. It's still not terribly expensive. Test Drive 5, published by Capcom, the Test Drive games in Japan, as well as Tomb Raider. Oddly enough, Capcom published a lot of stuff in Japan that might not have been published here otherwise. We got the Biohazard games. These are much cheaper than they were at Super Potato. At Super Potato, they were all between like 15 and 20 bucks. Here, more, you know, akin to like 5 to 15 maybe. Most of them 10 or less. So that's really, really good prices on those. We got some of these Capcom Classics collections with their old arcade games like the 1940s games and Ghouls and Ghosts and things like that. That's always cool. And we have the Namco arcade collections as well. That's $13.20. So, you know, all these cool old arcade collections on the PS1, and 220 yen for Tobal number 1. So if you like Tobal number 1, you can pick it up for like $2. It's a very inexpensive game. So is Tobal 2. Both of those games are super cheap, and they're really fun. They're great 3D fighters on the PS1. And again, yeah, look at all this. That's why I'm not gonna like go digging through all that DS and stuff. It's just because there's like a lot of it, way more than I care to dig through, because this video would be like an hour and some odd long. That's not what we're looking for. But yeah, lots of loose Super Famicom carts here again, which I did dig through. Some loose PC Engine stuff as well. And the prices on all this stuff is not so bad. Loose carts, they're really good on. Usually you can find like $5-10. It's almost kind of comparable to Book Off as we look at all these PC Engine games. I mean, good lord. They have some good stuff in here. We got our Bombermans, we got lots of different shooters. And I'm already seeing like the Bonk games. We got Kyukoku Tiger, which is, it's not Tiger Heli. What the hell? I forget the English title for that one all the time. But it's pretty damn cool. We got Crest of Wolf, which is a beat 'em up. I also forgot the English title for that one. You'll have to excuse me. Valis 4 on the PC Engine CD, which is really great, as well as Valis 3, which I like a lot, and Valis 2, which is the most expensive, and it's also my least favorite in the series. I don't really like Valis 2. The rest of them I like a lot. Pretty good action platformers. Fantasy Zone for $13.20. The PC Engine port of Fantasy Zone is really good. Gradius 2 on the PC Engine CD, just an amazing game. Love it, love it. And Gate of Thunder, which is $72.60. That's quite expensive. I love this game. It's an amazing shoot 'em up. Some people say it's the best on the console. So I really do enjoy the game a lot. But like $70 is kind of steep. But yeah, you know, this is the PC Engine section. Lots of stuff to thumb through. Some of it common, some of it not so common, some of it cheap, some of it not so much. So, you know, kind of typical. As we look at Sega stuff, this game, Lord of Monaco? Lord of Monaco. I don't know what the hell this game is, but it had an interesting cover. It kind of reminded me of like Popful Mail or something. Shadow Dancer. A lot of these Sega Mega Drive games, they hold their value, especially when you find them boxed. So like 77 for Ride and Trad. Great game, don't get me wrong. But and then 82.50 for Batman Returns. Ouch. So a lot of Mega Drive stuff can be quite pricey. So even though like I love my Mega Drive, I'm really happy with the collection I have for it now. I'm not really expanding it just because some of these prices I can't really justify. Especially when ROMs are pretty easily available for a lot of these. Well, all of these really. But there's they got Aladdin, Afterburner, all that kind of stuff. Good stuff for collectors. And Saturn, yay! Pocket Fighter for like $40. Pocket Fighter, that's one of my feel-good games. Sui Koinbu by Data East, one of their lesser-known, lesser-appreciated 2D fighters. Speaking of, Waku Waku 7 by Sunsoft, really great fighting game on the Saturn. I believe ported from the Neo Geo, so that's a really good one. Daytona, USA for 550 yen, so $5 for a copy of Daytona. I guess that's fair. The Salamander Deluxe Pack. It has Salamander 1 and 2 and something else, I believe. So 3 solid Konami shooters. All in one convenient, what was convenient at the time, disc. So fantastic. But Saturn, yeah, still one of my favorite consoles to buy, collect, and play games for. I play my Saturn quite a lot. Sonic 3D for $58.30, which is a lot to ask for Sonic 3D Blast, which is like one of the weaker entries into the Sonic series. Asuka 120% for $49.50. Great game. I've covered multiple versions in the past on the PlayStation and Saturn. So the Asuka games I like a lot. We got Xbox 360 here, and even some OG Xbox stuff, even some imports. Somebody imported a copy of The Punisher, which is a game I like a lot, by the way. Punisher on the Xbox is freaking awesome. And we got Dreamcast, as we look at Gigawing 2 for about, $55 or so. Dreamcast, another one of my, come on. Project Justice? Get out of here. So much good stuff on it from Capcom. Gunspike, also known as Cannon Spike. Biohazard 3. All this stuff is really good. So yeah, my Saturn and my Dreamcast, love to pick up games for whenever I can. So much stuff that really fits kind of like my gaming tastes. As you can see, we got all these for $12.10, which is like $10. You can grab Capcom vs. SNK, and for $9.90, Guilty Gear X. Just awesome. These are really great fighting games. So this is kind of like, this in a nutshell is why I love the Dreamcast. We're looking at it. Fighting games, shoot 'em ups, arcade ports. The Dreamcast was a console that was, almost like tailor-made for me. Star Gladiator 2, aka Plasma Sword. I sing the praises of that game all the time. It's so good. And Spawn in the Demon's Hand in this cool little sleeve thing. I don't know what else is in there. Maybe like a little, if there's a soundtrack, because that game has a really cool soundtrack. But that's a really great game too by Capcom. Like a fun arena style shooter. We got Guardian Heroes here for $28.60, marked down to $27.50. For Guardian Heroes, that ain't bad. Gun Griffin, $5.50, so the same price as Book Off for Gun Griffin, like $5. And that's a super common game, super cheap. and it's pretty good too. Nice mech action, fun stuff. But that's kind of like we got kind of a gist. So I put the camera away, grabbed some things for some people, and the idea was to move on. But then as we go outside, again, I'm caught without my umbrella. Started out as a sunny day, and well, it just stayed rainy. You know, not a lot I can do about that, so I guess I just have to go back inside Surugaya and continue to dig through games, or go on one of the floors above it. Surugaya has all kinds of collectibles. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this perusing of Surugaya, and come back again for the next one. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
Jim here, still in Ikebukuro, Tokyo today. Dennis was with me. Say hi, Dennis.
Hey, yo.
And today we are obviously at the Club Sega right here in Ikebukuro arcade. I think there's 7 or 8 floors to it. A lot of stuff inside. Let's get inside and check it out.
Pad. Pad. Cool Pad.
ハードと新作ソフトでクールパッドプレゼント。
セガサターン。
the Club Sega or Sega Gigo here in Ikebukuro. It's pretty cool. Like I said, lots of different floors. Some floors exclusively just UFO catchers, and then up on like the 4th floor, that's where all the good games were, the fighting games, shoot 'em ups, that kind of thing. Dennis, did you have a good time?
Yeah, hell of a time.
Played some games, had some fun. So definitely, if you're in Ikebukuro, stop by the Club Sega that's out here and get yourself a Sonic the Hedgehog Taiyaki. I'm told it's actually hedgehog flavored, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and come back next time. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Hey everybody, Jim here. I'm at the Shinjuku station right now, bright sunny day, and we are about to go and get on a train heading north, because today we are leaving Tokyo and going to Saitama Prefecture, which is the next prefecture over. Which, I think we're going to go this way. It's the next prefecture over, or yeah, up, because today I'm going to an area of Saitama called Omiya, because I've been going to Saitama recently because my girlfriend just moved there. So like every other weekend, I'm in that general area. And I've noticed that they have a whole bunch of hard offs and book offs and things like that. So it's kind of a new sort of like hunting ground for me, if you will. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to get on the train. We are going to go to Omiya, and hopefully we'll find ourselves inside of a well-stocked hard off, digging for some games. So stick around. This should be pretty fun. Okay, so we are not in Tokyo anymore. We are in Saitama at Omiya Station, which I've actually never ever been to this area before. But it looks nice enough. I mean, we passed the Saitama Super Arena on the way here, which is pretty cool. I've actually never been there, but I know they have some good wrestling shows there, and like Seibu Lions baseball games and stuff. Anyway, Google Maps has told me that this general direction is where I want to go. We have about a 20-minute walk ahead of us, and it's nice and warm today. It's the middle of the afternoon. I got my water with me, and so yeah. We've got a nice brisk walk to take, and we're gonna soak up some sun, enjoy having a look around here in Omiya, and at the end of it all, there's going to be a hard off that hopefully will have a whole bunch of games for us to dig through, and a bunch of stuff that I can take home with me. So yeah, let's do this. Let's go have a look around Omiya in Saitama. Break time. On my walk, came across a cool looking Shinto shrine. It says Misa Hiraki.
So let's take a quick look. Shrine time. These are always fun. We got our gate here. Step inside. Wow. A lot of greenery in here. Okay. There's a hand washing that I should be doing. Can't wash my hands and hold the camera at the same time, unfortunately. This is pretty rad. A power spot. So this is a power spot, apparently. Awesome. I feel the power welling up inside me as we speak. Man. This is cool. This is like very nice. You can go there and toss some money in maybe, or ring the bell, say a prayer. I just wanted to take a little detour right quick because this is a cool, very nice shrine. Very lovely. Lots of growth and a power spot and all of that. That's nice. So, yeah. I like to do that whenever I can. Just pop by a shrine and say hello. Okay. Back on the road. We still got a good ways to walk. So let's go. Let's get to it. Hard off time. This time seriously. No more shrine breaks.
我ら火の一族参上。謹んでご披露をつかまつる。ご存知天外魔境2。
広大なジパングに繰り広げられる奇想天外な大冒険へ巻き我が道に敵なし。
天外魔境2。3月26日参上。
by Addison。
Said we disband. My word. Sorry about the weird parking job. The engine just died on us right here.
Hey, Morgana, are you done yet?
Why the heck am I in charge of the car again?
Okay, that was a nice lengthy walk, and I'm gonna level with you. It is hot as balls today. It's a warm one, but there is the object of my desire, the hard off. We're gonna have to cross the street here at some point. It's pretty cool. Looks like it's lengthy, like it's got a bit of an ass on it. When the fuck do I cross the street? Okay, thanks very much. Give me a nice pass. Alright. Brand new hard off, baby. We've got games, audio equipment, DVDs, Blu-ray, blah blah blah. Probably get some water out of that machine. And check it out. Alright, hard off. Here we go, baby. Let's do it.
Cool pad. Cool pad. Cool pad.
ハードと新作ソフトでクールパッドプレゼント。
Sega Saturn.
Alright. Welcome to the gun show. Just kidding. Not a real gun anyway. No, we're looking at video games. Imagine that. Getting started with this case of games, where at the top they have all these variations of PS Vita, and hey, even some boxed WonderSwan colors. I've actually never played a PS Vita in my entire life, if you can believe that. And we've got some DS's, Game Boy SPs in here, and this cool, like, Donkey Kong Micro Versus thing, almost like a Game & Watch kind of thing, which I thought was pretty cool. And we got some more cool stuff here, Famicom, and we got Sweet Home, Kid Dracula, Samurai Pizza Cats, some cool Super Famicom stuff, including some Sailor Moon, Ganbare Goemon, Godzilla, Assault Suits, Vulcan, Super Metroid, all that cool stuff. Even some, what are these, like, Master System or like Sega Mark III games? I don't know. I wasn't expecting to see that. Arcade Card Duo. There's a copy of Wolfang on the Saturn back there. That game is amazing. Even some Virtual Boys, some Mario Brothers Virtual Boy box stuff. Sun. There's Kirby's Air Ride. Some Mega Drive games like Puyo Puyo and Double Dragon 2, which sucks on the Mega Drive. Some other stuff here, including a PC Engine system card. Couple loose PC Engine games, another Virtual Boy game, and that cool, like, slime, I guess, like, PlayStation controller. That's pretty cool. But now to the meat of this matter, the real heart of things, this sort of like retro aisle. Where to begin? How about with some consoles? We've got some just straight up, some PS2 decks, and this cool, the Dreamcast Regulation 7 edition for 18,000 yen. It's the deck by itself, but if you have Dreamcast cords, just grab the deck. Why not? We have a Core Graphics for 10,000 yen, and it's boxed complete. Looks pretty good, and that's actually a pretty sweet deal on that. And then for loose with like nothing, it's 9,000, which is like ridiculous. Like, you have a box complete one for 10,000, and then just a loose deck for 9,000. Who's pricing this stuff? We're going to see a bit of that, actually. Some of the stuff in here is priced like somebody didn't know what the hell they were doing, and then other things are priced like really cheap and reasonable. So we're going to see some wacky stuff. But they got Saturns, they got Wii's, and we got some, the gold Famicom Mini with all of the, like, Jump manga games on it. Most of those games suck, by the way. But they got that, and then this was cool. Just because I love the boxed design. A boxed Mega Drive 2 for 7,000 yen, which is a pretty good deal on that. Neo Geo Stick, some other good stuff here. Some Super Famicoms loose for like 4,000 and 5,000 yen. If it had all the cables with it and a controller, maybe it would be worth 5,000 yen. This cool, but wow, who the hell priced this? 30,000 yen for the boxed Dreamcast. Like, that's ridiculous. And there's the Mega CD Model 1 for 24,000 yen. It seems like for some reason in this hard off they just thought anything that said Sega was worth a bit. Loose Model 2 for 7,000 yen. And this Famicom Model 2, the AV Famicom, the top loader, if you will, 8,000 yen. Which I've seen those go for as much as like 10,000, so that's okay. We got these boxed Famicom in great condition. It's like really like crisp and white, and we got us an N64, also in nice condition, for less than the Famicom. And then a boxed Super Famicom, they charge 7,000 yen for, which I think is a little overpriced considering how common they are. We got some more good-looking Famicoms and some Neo Geo decks as well. And then here we go. Your retro games. Get them while they're hot, if they're hot at all. This stick, I was very tempted to buy for when I go to those Tekken 2 tournaments, but passed on. But cool old Namco PS1 joystick, a Saturn racing wheel, some controllers here, things like that. Even a little WonderSwan all by its lonesome. So plenty cool. Some memory cards, controllers, yada yada yada. They're like 10 or 1,000 yen for a Dreamcast controller. And yeah, that's fine. I'm not in the market for any controllers right now. And a busted old junky 3DO. They still want 7,000 yen for, even though apparently it doesn't work. The 3DO, good lord, I'm getting rid of my 3DO stuff as a matter of fact. But we got Famicom cards. This is what I was talking about. These are all priced pretty reasonably. Most of it was like 300 yen, which is less than $3 per cart. Like we got, yeah, Dragon Ball right here for 300 yen, and Argus by Jalico, pretty cool. We got some Magical Taruru Tokun, and Twinbee 3, very nice, Twinbee 3, and they're selling that for 1,000 yen, which is actually a good deal on it. 500 yen for Mario Brothers carts, and Hokuto no Ken for 500 yen. Magical Taruru Tokun 2 for 1,000. Again, that's good. And some of these actually I found out because I bought a whole bunch of these loose carts. And Super Spike V-Ball for 300 yen. That's a great deal, and I love that game, by the way. It's like my favorite volleyball game of all time. But some of these, as I was going through, turned out some of them actually had their instruction manuals in the little plastic wrap with them. So some of these I picked up, they also came with manuals, and they didn't cost any more. It was still like $3. But we're looking at more good stuff like Mappy. That's very cool. And Super Star Force by Tecmo. Good classic shooter by Tecmo. We've got the Legend of the Valkyrie, Road Fighter by Konami. Cool stuff, cool stuff. So yeah, I picked up a ton of Famicom carts. Good Famicom carts that didn't cost very much. And we got some box stuff here. Valkyrie, no Densetsu yet again. Some SD Gundam stuff. The original Soccer. It's going for 1,000 yen. With conversion rate right now, 1,000 yen is less than $10. It's like $9. And, a complete Excite Bike in really good shape too. Don't come across that very often. Those older Famicom games, usually if you find them in box, the box is like ratty. But that baby was looking good. We got the Famicom Famajump, whatever it is. It's a kind of little RPG with jump characters. And Labyrinth. They had a complete Labyrinth for $1,500. Labyrinth based on the movie featuring David Bowie. It has some cool 8-bit renditions of songs from that movie. Complete Donkey Kong, which is also pretty cool. So there's cool stuff here. Cool stuff. Even some nice N64 games, which I'm not picking up right now. They got like Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, Yoshi Story. Even we got some Ultima on the Famicom, which I like that they animeified the Famicom cover art. Even some Famicom disc and a Samurai Spirits. I think that's the second or third Samurai Spirits game on Neo Geo CD. They had a lone Neo Geo CD game. It was only like $10, so that's cool. Super Famicom carts, again, lots of good stuff. Donkey Kong and Dragon Ball Z and some Marios and Ranma and all that stuff. Again, these are all like 300 yen, 500 yen. So almost none of this is over $5, which is pretty good if you ask me. There's some Mickey there, more Ranma, Shin-chan, Samurai Spirits, Bomb Bliss, Dragon Ball, all that stuff. And then even these boxed games in really great shape. Look, they're 1,000 yen. You know, again, like $9. So you can buy a complete Mario RPG for like $9. Ys 4, Mask of the Sun, which is a pretty damn good game in its own right. I've become quite the Ys fan in recent years. Some Crayon Shin-chan, other various things. So not everything in here, you know, will blow your socks off. We've got Bomb Bliss, and you know, there's gonna be Yoshi's Island, a complete Yoshi's Island for 1,000 yen. Yeah, take that every day. Dragon Quest, Puyo Puyo. So a lot of this stuff, pretty damn good, and price is pretty good too. A few bucks for most of these games. Bunch of boxed N64 games. And there was some Super Famicom stuff in there as well. But we got this very nice condition Ocarina of Time. That's 1,500 yen. And then You Can't Escape From Me. I never miss a copy of Super Street Fighter 2 with that great cover art for the Super Famicom version. And that'll run you like $9 or something. So that's very good. Moving on from there, though, to some stuff I'm less familiar with. PS4. I don't have a PS4. I have given no love to the PS4. The only time I've ever played it is going to friends' houses to play some fighting games. But I probably will be picking up a PS5 when it comes out because of it's backwards compatible. That's fine for me. So here we have like some Saturn stuff, and again, it's like overpriced stuff. Game Tengoku for 5,000 yen. Demolition Man on 3DO, just randomly in there. Just hey, here's like 2 3DO games. Densha Deck Go on the Dreamcast for 2,500. I didn't even know there was one of those on the Dreamcast. Road Rash. And this Saturn Bomberman for 2,000 yen, which, I mean, it should be like half that. So, yeah, it seemed like anything that had Sega on it, see, like 1,000 yen for Virtua Fighter and Giant Graham, those should be like 300 yen. For whatever reason, Fighters Megamix is not too overpriced, and neither was this. The All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Wolf and Jeffrey from Virtua Fighter, which was pretty cool. So that was a pickup today. Rockman X3 on Saturn, and I think they had X4 as well. But yeah, for whatever reason, a lot of the Sega stuff they had was so 3,500 for Rockman X4. But Clockwork Knight, it's a really great game. 500 yen. That's not such a bad deal. And we had some PlayStation stuff. But yeah, so for whatever reason, their Dreamcast stuff in this particular shop was overpriced, and it didn't seem like this is a shop that gets a lot of traffic in it, because the entire time I was in here, it was pretty much empty, and it's a pretty remote location for one of these, so it doesn't seem like there's a ton of traffic coming in and out of here. But I guess somebody that works there is just like, oh, if it's Sega, it's collectible. Mark it up. What is that, a Dreamcast? Those are worth like, what, $300? Let's mark the Dreamcast for $300. 1,000 yen for Silent Hill. Hey, Silent Hill. Because that exact same Dreamcast, in that exact same box, you can find in Trader in Akihabara for like, what, $60, $70, something like that? Like, it's not even close. But as we move on, Vita, another console I've given no love to. I've actually, I think I said it earlier, I've never played a Vita in my entire life. We got this cool Res box for PS2. But yeah, I'm told that the Vita is, there's a lot of great stuff on it, and it looks like there is. Like, when I just scan over a Vita section, it seems like there's some good stuff on it. East games and Persona stuff, things I'd be interested in, but I just haven't given it any love. The DS and 3DS, that is something I did play a lot of. I played a lot of the Dragon Quest games on DS, as well as Mario Kart DS was like one of my favorites. I played it at work a lot, admittedly, and then a little bit of Switch. Like, they did not have much on the Switch, like, at all. Anyway, moving past all that to the junk section, because some people have said they wanted to see more junk section. So here we are, baby. So we got broken PS3s and stuff for like $30 or whatever. You can spruce them up. These boxes, nothing but a bunch of DVDs and junk. Not interested, but hey, their Famicom junk wasn't so junky. This copy of Arkanoid, it's like super clean, and it's 300 yen, so it's the same price as a game on the rack. I guess they just didn't feel like putting it on the rack or didn't have room. A clean copy of Yoshi no Cookie for 200 yen. That's pretty nice. So yeah, not bad stuff. Again, a nice clean copy of Tecmo Tag Team Wrestling, and it's 200 yen, so it's like $1 something, and that's a pretty good deal on that. So they had some Famicom stuff in here that wasn't so bad. Dragon Ball 3, one of the Dragon Ball RPGs, which is pretty cool. Game concludes with a fight with Piccolo. Good old-fashioned Dragon Ball. That's my preference. And the Super Famicom stuff, again, good stuff in here. Fire Pro Wrestling, Donkey Kong Country, Crayon Shin-Chan. Again, a lot of stuff that was actually on the rack is in these boxes, so maybe it was like a little dirtier. Actually, some of these carts that I'm going to go through, they were exceptionally dirty. But they're like, you know, 100 yen. You know, 100 yen, so that's like 90 some odd cents for this. But it's dirty. Super Butoden 3, 100 yen. Again, it's less than $1, but you know, it's just a little dirty. I didn't want to pick up anything like dirty. I only wanted to pick up, you know, clean carts because a lot of you probably know a lot of this isn't staying with me. It's actually going out to other people, and I'm not gonna be the guy that sent people dirty carts and stuff. But they're like 100 yen. So if you're browsing in here and you don't feel like paying 300 yen for your copy of Super Butoden 3, just go pick up a 100 yen copy and maybe take it home and just clean it. And we got some box stuff in here. Gundam F91. It's one of the Gundam like strategy games. So if it's Gundam, but it ain't like action packed, I'm not terribly interested in it. So yeah. But we got some more loose carts in here. Super Butoden 2, little cruddy, 200 yen. Fatal Fury 2 for 300 yen, which is pretty cool. I love me some Fatal Fury. And even Art of Fighting for 200 yen. But super dirty. Someone dropped it in a grease trap. Art of Fighting, in case you didn't know. Oop, Chrono Trigger, 200 yen. And kind of filthy. For those of you who didn't know, Art of Fighting in Japanese is called Ryuko no Kin. Fist of Dragon and Tiger. And another Super Butoden 3. That one for 200 yen for whatever reason. Well, it's cleaner. It's a nice cleaner cart than the other two. But yeah, you can find a copy of Chrono Trigger for less than $2 in a junk bin. You could probably find a junky Chrono Trigger in North America and it would still be like $60 or something. So yeah, some cheap stuff in here as long as you didn't try to buy anything Sega. But we got more junk consoles here. So we got Famicom, Super Famicoms, we got PlayStations, we got Wii's, we got Wii U's. We got all the junk consoles, including this special edition Famicom. It's a whole new color. Ton of controllers. Most of these controllers too were in like pretty damn good shape. Like we got this nice Saturn controller here. That's pretty sweet. These Super Famicom controllers. I picked up a few of them, checked them out a little bit. They were pretty clean, seemed nice enough and all that. I don't actually need any controllers right now, but yeah, their controllers actually were not bad. You know, just a handful of Wii things here. They had like all of these places. If you go to any junk section of a hard off, there's just gonna be like a lot of PS2. I've never been to a hard off that didn't have a whole bunch of PS2 games in its junk section. So if you want to pick up copies of stuff like we're seeing here, Kingdom Hearts 2, 100 yen. There's like Devil May Cry, that's 100 yen. All of this stuff is 100 or 200 yen. So if you want to pick up a bunch of Kengo, which is actually a pretty cool game. So if you want to pick up a bunch of PS2 games for like $1 a piece, just go to any hard off junk section. You can pick up, you know, Bleach, and you can pick up Kingdom Hearts, and you can pick up Devil May Cry, and you can, you know, Biohazard, and all kinds of stuff. These Dragon Ball games, Dragon Ball Z 2, aka Budokai 2. The Budokai games were always fun. I like those quite a lot. But all of that stuff you can find for like dirt cheap, like literally $1. As we see some more stuff, even a Famicom disk system that's junky. This could be something like sort of a cost-cutting measure too, if you're like a handy person, which I am not. I would not know how to repair or refurbish these things. But there are plenty of people that do, and so they can buy junky stuff. They can buy a Hatsune Miku Vita case, take it home and fix it up. Yeah, but there's all kinds of stuff in here that if you're a handy guy or gal, you know how to refurb things, these could be some super cheap options for you. As we take a look at some PS1 games, such as Bass Fishing and Gundam, and a game called Block Kazushi? Block Kazushi? I had no idea what that is. little puzzle game, I guess. So there's some stuff in here. Ace Combat 2. All this stuff as well, 100 yen. Street Games 97, which I think was like 2 Extreme. I think that's what it was called in the US. I had a lot of fun with that game back in the day, as a matter of fact. But there's like Dragon Quest and Brave Fencer Musashi. Lots of cool stuff. And then here, there's like a couple of PC Engine games. Exerion for like Windows 95 and yeah, just stuff that wouldn't have been in, like the only Sega stuff that wasn't overpriced was just a bunch of stuff in the junk bin. But hey, Sega Rally, complete, spine card and everything, for 300 yen, and it looks like it's pretty okay. So that was a get. Sega Rally, complete with spine card, 300 yen. I'll take that all day. And there's some other stuff in there, One Piece, etc., etc. And yeah, a copy of Brave Fencer Musashiden for 100 yen. Jammer Lammy. Super fun game. Initial D for 200 yen. So yeah, there was actually pretty cool stuff in these junk bins. You know, how can you argue with Jammer Lammy, Brave Fencer Musashi, and Initial D? Those are quality titles, people. Tekken 2. Fantastic game. Some whatever tennis and a bunch of like oldie Namco games in here. Rage Racer. It's got Ridge Racer. Okay, very cool. And then, you know, come around the side, a bunch of stuff I didn't notice earlier. Some clone consoles and other things. And I was considering that a whole section of like really old like retro vinyl stuff. There was actually more stuff in here aside from just games. They even had a Pico. Who the hell has a Pico? This place had a Pico. But then, you know, there's plenty of cool stuff. There was also like figures in here and like laser discs and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, that's it for now. Let's get the hell out of here. Okay. Well, I got, as you can see, a lot of stuff. I hope this can all fit in my backpack. I don't feel like carrying it all in my hands. I was hoping I would go to like another, at least one hard off today, but I gotta be honest with you, it's scorching, and I picked up way more in this one than I thought I was going to. So this might be calling it a day. Hot, I'm a little bit tired. I could use a beer, so. But anyway, yeah, I'm about to start the walk back to the station and carry my ass home. But thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed my little trip out to Saitama today, to Omiya, to this beautiful hard off. If you're in the area, definitely pop by. That's pretty good, although I've already bought all the games, so not really much else for you guys. Anyway. Again, yeah, thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you next time. So, I don't know how to end this one. See you then. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, Jim here in Ikebukuro, Tokyo today, because we are at, obviously, Plaza Capcom here. Dennis is with me. Say hi, Dennis.
Hey, yo.
So yeah, today we are at Plaza Capcom, like I said. There is a Rockman VR experience thing going on right now, and a Biohazard one as well. So there's the Plaza Capcom Arcade. There is also the Capcom Cafe that we're going to hang out at. And then Dennis has booked himself a ticket for the Rockman VR thing. So we're going to check that out too. That should be pretty cool. Anyway, have a look around Plaza Capcom here in Ikebukuro and check it out as we do, because this should be pretty cool. Let's do it.
Super Robot Rockman 世界 の平和のため7つの武器を駆使して悪のロボット軍団を倒せ。アイテムいっぱい、楽しさ抜群。スーパーアドベンチャーゲームファミコンソフトロックマン、12月17日新発売。カプコン。
強く美しくデビルメイクライ。
カプコン。
Cafe. Dennis got himself a drink called the Dante. Looks delicious. And I am rocking the classic Jill Valentine. Looks pretty good. Looks like some kind of float. Hopefully it's an alcoholic float. I didn't really pay attention to what I was ordering. But yeah, what do you think of the Capcom Cafe, Dennis?
I think it's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet.
Devil May Cry.
Yes, Devil May Cry all over the place, including young lady at our table. All right, cool. Capcom Cafe. Let's drink.
Damn.
Biohazard 2. Coming soon. Biohazard Director's Cut in stores now.
Capcom.
Dennis, how was your virtual Rockman experience?
Oh, it was very fun. You got to be Rockman itself. You had to move around in a very small area, which is kind of difficult, but
Did you feel powerful, Dennis?
Oh yeah, you felt powerful.
That's all that matters.
Especially when you got the Blockman power.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Capcom.
Alright, so that's it. In Ikebukuro, the Plaza Capcom, the Capcom VR thing, which Dennis got to have some fun with. You had some fun with that, Dennis?
Hells yeah.
And we have the Capcom Cafe, which is pretty cool. Lots of like themed drinks and food and stuff. And a lot of merch to buy too. The arcade here, I mean, you saw the video, it's pretty weak. It's mostly a bunch of like claw machines and then a handful of other kinds of games like rhythm games and stuff. It's a Capcom arcade and there's no Street Fighter, no real Capcom arcade games really, so that is kind of lame. But the main attraction of this place is not really the arcade, it's the VR stuff. There's also a Biohazard VR thing that they have going on that we didn't get to play with today. And the cafe, those are the attractions of this place. So if you come to Ikebukuro, get what enjoyment you can out of the arcade and then sign up for the VR stuff. Go hang out at the cafe and get your Capcom fangasm on. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Dennis, we had a good time today.
Oh yeah.
We had a great time. Ikebukuro, Tokyo, Plaza Capcom. Pretty awesome. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Hey everybody, Jim here, once again, on a little walk on this fine sunny day, or it was when I shot this. It's actually a really rainy day as I'm sitting at home recording this. What you're looking at now is the neighborhood of Koenji, or at least some of it. There's a lot more to Koenji than just this side. I came to this side because I wanted to go to this book off that we're going to today, but Koenji is a very awesome neighborhood. I discovered lots of cool sort of like international foods and bars and things like that, and lots of just bars and cool stuff in general. Kind of a nightlife kind of place, kind of a good place to get some food, and just a nice neighborhood in general. I was really digging the vibe of Koenji, that sweet Koenji vibe, and I'll probably come back here quite a lot more. But look what we got here. A Book Off Express, as they call it. The Express is, I don't know where that comes into play. It's basically the same as any other Book Off. But, you know, that's not such a bad thing, is it? As we look at some Switch lights, things like that. A few things in the case. Which I do not have a Switch Lite. I have my Switch, which is good enough for me. I have a lot of fun with that. And speaking of, we're looking at a bunch of Switch games here for low prices. Because, you know, it's all used, but I mean, everything's going to be in great condition anyway. I mean, it would be hard to really do any damage to a Switch little cartridge thing. But you can see we got plenty of games here. We got some Samurai Spirits, Dragon Ball Fighters, other various things. Book offs are great places to go to pick up current gen stuff for a little less. Because again, it's all used, but it's all in good condition. You know, I've never bought any any duds from here. And as you can see, some of the prices on these things, 20 something, bucks here, $30 there. Not a big deal. So for PS4, Switch, stuff like that. And in fact, the day after Mario 3D All-Stars was released, there was already a copy at Book Off for like $10 less. So it's a good place to go to get some used stuff. As we take a look at this Senran Kagura game, for whatever reason, I was just drawn to it. I don't know why. Yeah, plenty of Senran Kagura. This what is this called? DJ Max? DJ Max by Arc System Works. So yeah, oddly enough, something published by Arc System Works that isn't a fighting game. I found that interesting. We got the new Sakura Wars. They even got a copy of Shenmue 3. How do you like that? And the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD re-release. So that's pretty cool. Some Akiba Strip 2, which I've never played. It's 1,800 yen. I actually played the original Akiba Strip and thought it was pretty entertaining. I actually played it while I was back in the US I was there for about a year or so. And playing Akiba Strip was kind of fun, because I hadn't been to Akiba in so long, and I wanted to, see how accurate the game was, and it was quite accurate. But we got a whole bunch of Ryuga Gotoku games here, aka Yakuza. So lots of those. And we got some Seiken Densetsu 3 and Undertale, stuff like that. Raiden 5, which actually reviewed the Switch version. That's a great shoot 'em up. You can pick up for your PS4 or Switch. And what's also good too is if in the future you're on a trip to Japan and you pick up this stuff, Switch, PS4, all of that, all of these games are region free, so just pick them up and then take them home. You don't have to buy a whole new console, which is nice. But plenty more stuff, including Umihara Kawase, 1,800 yen on the PS4, which is cool. I'm a Umihara Kawase fan. I like them. Sort of tricky puzzle platformers in a way. So I've played several of those. But yeah, as you can see, we got Vita here, which is all good. I've said this before, I've never even played a Vita in my whole life. But DS and 3DS, I did play quite a lot of that. Played plenty of Zelda, Mario Kart, Dragon Quest, all that good stuff. Can never go wrong with DS. And we have PS3 as well, including this little fighting game area here. We got some, looks like Gundam and some King of Fighters, which is always nice. This J-Stars game for $464, which is quite cheap. Dragon Ball, what is that? Hyper Blast or whatever it is. Yeah, so many Dragon Ball games, so little time. Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I can remember when I was a kid first getting into Dragon Ball, and they were like, no Dragon Ball games. I had to import the crappy PlayStation games. And then, if only I would have known, several years later, just an absolute glut of Dragon Ball games. Well, not a few years later, like a decade later, at least. Because eventually they did start just throwing them out there. Anime became the big thing, and we just start to see all kinds of anime games. They've started to release them retroactively. As we look at some PSP stuff here. I mean, well after, what was it, like 2000 or 2001? They're like, let's release Ultimate Battle 22 for the PlayStation, this crappy game from 1995. I'm off on a tangent there, though. My Dragon Ball game rant, Biohazard Outbreak, stuff like that. So we got all these PS2 games here, which is a console I still pick up games for. Hyper Street Fighter 2. Fantastic game. Love it. But, yeah, picking up games for myself, picking up games for the patrons, because there are a number of people that requested PS2 and PS1 games, which is what we're looking at right here, which I still collect PS1 games for myself, It's one of my favorite consoles of all time, as we look at some Capcom Generations. Yeah, especially when you're collecting for the Japanese PS1. You can get pretty much all the classics I enjoyed back in the day, but so many new sort of like undiscovered games. Star Ocean: The Second Story for $264. One of my favorites, probably one of my favorite RPGs ever, actually. I love that game. It's a really great action RPG, as I struggle to get it back on the shelf. But Star Ocean, love it. Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha for $464. It's a good deal on that. And again, a game I love and spent a lot of time playing growing up. Can never go wrong with Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha. I played it way more than I played even the sequels, actually. And then Ranma 1/2 Battle Renaissance, which is unusual to come across. 1,800 yen, which is way less than I normally see it for. So I actually did end up taking that home with me. Even though it's not a great game, actually. But somebody requested it specifically. So you know who you are. You're going to get your copy of Battle Renaissance. As we look at Biohazard 2, Final Fantasy 7, all the classics. They're all super cheap. Tales of Fantasia, $264. So a lot of the stuff in here can be picked up for like a couple of bucks, these PlayStation games. $264 for Dino Crisis, $891 for Dino Crisis 2. So super cheap on those PS1 games. We got Metal Gear, the Twin Snakes for 1,800 yen. Which, that ain't so bad. And I thought this was kind of cool. We got some Xbox and Xbox 360 stuff, including Jet Set Radio Future, which is an amazing game. I love it. One of my favorite original Xbox games. And, yeah, something I'd love to see a new Jet Set Radio. We even had a few little Famicom, Super Famicom type things here. Dragon Quest II, $891. We got Super Donkey Kong, aka Donkey Kong Country. We got Mario World, we got Kirby's Superstar, and even the N64 Castlevania. Pretty cool, for 1,800 yen. So, that's pretty cool. So they had a handful of things in there, but I did pick up a few games. And and I had a nice walk today, too. So that's it for this little book off, for games at least. Yeah, obviously I had other things, manga, DVD, CDs, but I picked up a couple of games. Was happy with that, and honestly was just happy to be in Koenji, walking around on a nice day, exploring, and just enjoying the fresh air. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you enjoyed. Come back for the next one. Take care. Goodbye.